Carolyn Turner and her husband were known as the Butterfly People to the staff of the South Carolina Botanical Garden, where they worked together to establish a butterfly garden focusing on native plants. They've traveled to Mexico to see the overwintering monarchs start making their way north and participated in a tagging program for several years as well. Carolyn came to Nashville in 2015 and immediately found her way to the Master Gardeners of Davidson County. She's a member of the Perennial Plant Society and a 20-plus year member of the Master Gardener program, and we're so pleased to have her here.
Hi, I'm Melanie Davis, and I'm with the Master Gardeners of Davidson County. Today we're talking with Carolyn Turner about the importance of butterflies to our ecosystem and what we can do to support them in our own communities and backyards, particularly focusing on monarchs. Hello, Carolyn. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I enjoy being with you, Melanie.
Excellent. Well, let's get right to it. We know many butterflies are experiencing dwindling populations. What, in your experience, is the biggest challenge that butterflies are facing right now?
Well, unfortunately, it's two-legged people. It is us, and particularly the first signs was the loss of the milkweed in the Midwest, in the farming communities where the farmers sprayed all their fence rows and everything. Another reason is that as we have grown in population, we've clear-cut, torn down everything to build homes, shopping centers, industries of all kinds. All of that is loss of habitat. And that's happened on the Mexican side too, because they have had a loss of habitat in the wintering ground.
Gotcha. In light of these challenges, what are some of the things that people can do in their daily lives to help support butterfly populations?
Well, grow plants that will encourage the butterflies to come to them. I have just recently heard our lawns sometimes look like a golf course. You don't need the golf course. It has no good for any of the natural things out there. So plant flowers that will encourage the butterflies to come. That includes particularly host or larval plants that the females can lay their eggs on, the caterpillars eat. It also provides so much more color to our lives. Some of the flowers that we have here in our way station are very, very colorful, particularly the annuals, and they need that for the nectar.
Absolutely. One of the nice things also about planting flowers and milkweed and things like that is that a lot of them are perennial and they come back every year.
Right. And my husband and I would promote native plants, of course. Those are the standbys. They're going to be the ones that will grow the best in our climate. They're mostly perennials, of course, and so encourage that too. So just plant more plants that will encourage the butterflies.
Excellent advice. If somebody's going to do one thing possible to help butterfly populations, is that your advice? Just find the ones you want to bring to your yard and plant those plants?
Yeah, start small. Just take you can even do them in pots. Mm-hmm. So if you have a patio and you don't want to dig up your yard at all, just plant a few of the plants in pots. There again, you get the color so that you make your house look a little bit more interesting, and it's fun to watch the butterflies. You can sit and just watch, see what comes. Zinnias particularly will be attracted to the butterflies, to nectar.
Excellent. What are your favorite plants for attracting butterflies to your garden?
Oh gosh. I'm going to go first with some natives that are kind of unusual for a normal garden unless you really go into it. My first choice is the spice bush, which is a small shrub, and it can take shade, basically more than full sun. And I like it because I love the caterpillar of the spice bush, swallowtail. He has eyes at the back of his body to fake his enemies, and he's really so cute. Another native is the pipe vine, which is a big vine, and you really need something sturdy for it to climb on. But again, the female will come in and lay dozens of eggs, and you can just watch them spread out over the vine. And it was fun to watch one over at the zoo grow, and it was fun to point out to kids too, to see the caterpillars. So those are my two favorite. Another one would be the passion vine, which attracts the fritillaries. And those are, as I say, 3 natives. Then you get into the nectar plants, and you have to have those because, of course, the butterflies, like us, need to have something to eat. And there, I'm going to go more with the annuals, although there are a lot of perennials and native plants that you can use. And the annuals, as I mentioned, probably the favorite is zinnias, and it seemed like when the zinnias start blooming, the butterflies start showing up. Tithonia is another one. That's one I personally have only been able to grow one time in South Carolina. Marigolds, it has to be the French marigold, so you have to specify that. And offhand, those would be my favorites.
Excellent. Do you have any other advice for our viewers?
Well, if you really want to attract butterflies, you're going to have to do some research. And that means there are some books, and of course now with the computers and all of the web places that there are to look at. And I have 3 probably of my favorite books. The first one, being in Tennessee, is Butterflies of Tennessee by Rita Venable. Excellent for those of us who live here. She did an excellent job on that. If you are not from Tennessee and you want to grow butterflies, this is a book that my husband and I discovered, the Kaufman series. Excellent, excellent. The pictures are in there that shows the top of the wings, the underneath wings. It tells you what host plants grow, where they can grow, a wealth of information. Then my very favorite. You have to have a book for the kids. And this is My Oh My, a Butterfly, and it's written like Dr. Seuss. It's kind of long. I read this many, many, many times to my granddaughter. Finish it, read it again, Grandma. But it is the most accurate book that I have seen for children. It uses the term chrysalis instead of cocoon, which is rare. So I recommend that. And for those of you that are grandparents, great-grandparents, get this book for your grandkids and great-grandkids. It's a way to get them acquainted with nature and get excited about the butterflies. Then as far as the computer and the website, Monarch Watch is an excellent, excellent source. The Monarch Watch sponsors the Monarch Way Station, so you can find out information about it there. The butterfly counts, the tagging. My husband and I tagged for several years, and one year we even tagged 100 butterflies and ran out of tags. So that's exciting. So those would be my choices to go to. Here in Tennessee, you can go to the Extension website, and there's a whole bit of information there about the butterflies in the state of Tennessee.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and advice with us today, Carolyn. It's always a great time to chat with you.
Okay, you're welcome. I enjoyed it.
And thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time.